Hey everybody, I haven't talked on a video in a long ass time. I've been meaning to for quite some time, but I've recently I decided to, for fun, get back into shape, and I've been working at it for a few weeks now. And I always harp eating with your appetite, um, and I'm going to talk about some of the main factors for that. I've done every kind of diet known to man, basically. Um, I started out young, bodybuilding, 20 years old, and small town, and it's just dumb bro science and magazines that are full of shit. So, um, young guys, they just start out just eating everything and anything, and think people think calories because they don't understand at a cellular level how these things work in their body. So they think calories, right? Um, Calories are just a man-made thing that are not accurate. Um, Thinking of like primitive eating, some of it's very associated with that. Your body has a natural function where it should be hungry once in a while, and that's when it regenerates and clears out things and sensitizes itself and releases both positive and catabolic hormones because it will actually start breaking down dead cells within the body and reassimilating them places that need to be based on your training. If your training is telling your body, training's through, your body only does what it thinks it needs to survive. So if your training's all geared toward high output and high tension type training, your body's going to feel like in order to survive, it's got to keep muscle. So that's its first priority. If you're somebody that doesn't work out, then well, you just shouldn't eat certain things at all. But anyway, then I'd gotten higher in the ranks of bodybuilding. You start meeting people, and you start doing more of a whole food diet, and all of a sudden you're leaner and putting on more muscle than ever. So that all of a sudden clicks. But everybody does this 6 meals a day, or they do, this or that. That's super generic, and I think a lot of that stuff was written for beginners, and it just gives them a system to follow. And I'll tell you, none of the pros really do it like that. You do things as you see fit at the moment. You're not, you can't just adhere to something and say screw this opportunity to grow or get leaner because this is what I do exactly. That only gets you so far, and it sucks to live that way. So, like myself, I probably eat 3 meals a day. Um, Sometimes I won't eat for a day. I'll wait 24 hours. Let's say I ate at 9 at night last. I'll just wait till the next 9 at night, and a lot of times that cleans you out. Your appetite comes right back, um, and you get leaner. So, um, what I'll normally do is just eat when I get truly hungry. There's a point of hunger that you should eat something right now. You know, like true hunger. You can feel that your body is starting to fast, um, and then just give it what it needs. You know, and at that point, I'll just eat a larger portion of like salmon or something, and probably get like 80 grams of protein and some colored peppers, and then I will just wait until I eat again. A lot of times it won't be until after I work out in the evening, um, and then it'd be an hour and a half after that because now my body's doing something because of the training. I'll be so hungry I'm salivating at the mouth, and I'll eat another like a pound of beef heart, and depending on what I trained, maybe some pineapple or something, and then I just wait until the next day when I get hungry. And like today, for example, I got really hungry at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's not that typical because a lot of times I just say, "Oh, screw it, I can wait till 11 or 12 o'clock." Um, but this morning I was hungry the minute I woke up. By 9 o'clock, I was, shoving some meat in my face. Um, and then carbs, that's so controversial with people. Carbohydrates are one of the few things that you can live without. Um, you don't have to eat carbohydrates, you know, but you can't live without some fats or protein. You know, so carbs are just pure energy, where fats and protein, cholesterol, things like that are building blocks, and your body does things with them. The calories that people count a lot of times don't count with that stuff because of your training and everything else. Your body's assimilating it, and sometimes you end up burning more energy because of the cellular level of your body when it's actually growing and healing and anabolic. Um, and if you're eating carbohydrates, everybody burns so much in a day, and some days it's more than others. Uh, you play with them. There's like a full gauge in your muscle, and once that full gauge is full, every little bit of carbohydrates gets converted to fat and stored. Um, so you need to learn what's that float and stay in there. You don't want to, flatten right out or whatever. Being chocked full of carbs all the time does not make you more anabolic. It actually makes you more catabolic because your insulin receptors get desensitized, your pancreas gets tired, your growth hormone levels drop, uh, blood sugars will start going up. You're just less anabolic. That's why a lot of guys, that just all out bulk, um, it's hard to do it all the time, but they hit a point where they aren't gaining muscle anymore. They just start getting fat, and a lot of times they throw in the towel for a while because they just feel like shit. Um, this way you can go all the time, but myself, carbohydrates, humans aren't meant to eat processed carbohydrates. We, you know, just like everything else around, part of nature, and just ate, red meat, poultry, fish, and vegetation. Um, only People only been eating the way they do for a few decades, and then before that was way way better. And then a while back before that, it was straight up caveman eating, and that's what our origins are from. So the more you understand the body and the way all that works, the more you can just manipulate it, and that is what I try to teach people. The people that actually learn it do really well. They're fucking lean all the time and growing, and because you figure your body out so well. You observe it, throw things at it. Um, so back to the carbs. The reason I pick certain carbohydrate sources is just they're chock full of things that are really beneficial. And then I grab shit I like. You don't have to live on broccoli and rice. And say like pineapple, for example, it's got bromelain in it that helps you digest protein. It's vitamin C, all kinds of antioxidants and enzymes, and potassium, things like that. And then papaya is similar, has papain in it. It's actually pretty low in carbs. You can eat a whole damn papaya and it's like 40 carbs, but it helps you, like when you eat especially red meat, it really helps you digest it really well. Avocados for the omega 9s. You can eat as many omega 9s as you want. I'm convinced of it. You're not going to get fat. And like those colored peppers, they're extremely high in vitamin C. There's 8 or 9 carbs in a whole colored bell pepper. I eat a couple of those with meals, and then once in a while, I'll just have something different for, say, like fruit or whatnot. But lots of salmon, eggs, grass-fed ground beef, and then some chicken, and that's pretty much the bulk of what I use for food. from there, I just kind of know through the day where I'm at and what I can allow my body to have, and just work on keeping it anabolic. Um, that's how I started doing it back the last time I competed, and that's when I really started listening to Phil. I lived with him for a while out in New York, and I started a prep at like 225, and I wasn't that lean. I wasn't fat by any means. I wasn't that lean. I was behind. I had been far more muscular before, and I started eating every day, just trying to like constantly like build a little muscle, let it burn fat, build a little muscle, and then guys would say that you can't lean out and keep and build muscle at the same time, and it's bullshit. I've definitely figured it out. It's the process of building that muscle. Your body, through your training, is staying anabolic. It feels like it needs to for survival. So you give it everything it needs in order to grow, and then take anything else away. You know, and that muscle, there's little stints between your meals where it's burning fat. And 5 months went by, and most guys would start a prep at 250 and come on stage at like 211, which proves how fat they really are. But I got on stage at 234, so I went from 225, 226, and I competed like 234, and I was smooth and then shredded. So, and everybody that really listens rather than just doing all the bro science and stuff, they get the same results. So that's why I thought I would try to explain when I say eat with appetite. You got to learn your appetite too until if you're just craving something, or if you're getting over a lot of people don't realize they're carb addicted, getting over carb addictions. People cut the carbs out and then they go through really bad like withdrawals, and they'll binge eat carbs. That's not appetite. That's something you got to get over. It takes a few weeks and it'll go away. But anyway, I'm starting to get hungry. Everybody have a good night.